You're listening to Challenge Takes Podcast, the only podcast whose hosts are better friends than Kara and Marie. Welcome to the Challenge Takes Podcast, the hottest challenge takes on the internet. I'm Joe Puglisi, coming to by Brian Smith.
Here we go.
Oh boy, coming in with it. I think you would.
No, I did.
Because none of the cuts before that are going to be in here. For the past 5 minutes, we've been doing our best Mario impressions.
Yep.
So there's Brian's. Maybe you'll hear mine later tonight. I don't know. But we're here, episode 14, right?
Lavender is the new black.
All right. Cool.
Why would they choose to name an episode Lavender is the new black when they're not even all together anymore? It's an odd choice. Yeah,
I mean, they have the same power ratio as the Young Bucks.
I suppose, because Corey and Devin just slide right into that spot. I don't know how good of a
they're
team
not,
they are.
Corey and Devin aren't Lavender ladies, though.
Yeah, but they're
Devin's not even
part of that.
Young Buck.
They're part of that voting block.
They're just friends.
Yeah.
They're
on that. They're part of that
factions.
alliance.
They're two factions that came together by necessity. And
well, they were already friends to begin with. They were jointly aligned. The Young Bucks and the Lavender ladies.
Yeah.
Given that Hunter and Ashley are partners and Nelson and Shane are partners.
Still think it's great that Shane's a Lavender lady. I'll never get over that.
Never forget. See, I was making the point. I never said it on air, but it's funny to see Tony be the person to talk shit and call them the Lavender losers. When on Invasion, he not only got outplayed by all of them, but he also lost to the one person the one male in the group who he deemed was the weakest person there and said that he'd beat him no problem.
He lost to Shane on Invasion?
Yeah, lost to Shane.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
It all goes in through the eyes. I don't know where it leaves though. It just leaves. But we're here and we're ready to F some S up, yo.
Yeah. Some very brief house topics. Zach leaving Tony a note behind.
Oh, cute.
Cute note. Again, I don't think Bananas gives a shit that Zach is gone. He's glad that a big competitor in the game is out, so that his path to winning challenges is now easier.
Well, no, I disagree with that. Because as much as he wants a big competitor like Zach out, that's also an ally in a game that typically, let's get this straight. Typically, Bananas doesn't care about his allies. But that's because he always has the number advantage. Now that he doesn't, that dude will literally right now will never say Kara's name unless it comes down to him and Kara, because that's the only person backing him up, and he has 4 other teams that he hates. He absolutely misses Zach right now.
No, I don't see it.
Because would he rather have 4 people or 4 people on his team, including himself, or 3? Against 8.
Amanda and Zach weren't really on his team.
Zach was. Zach, Kara, him, Tony. 4 people team, or would you rather have a 3-person team against whatever the remaining?
It's not
number
really a
of people
3-person team though. It's a 2.5-person team. Is what it really is.
You can look at it any way you want.
I'm saying is the other team. We'll get to this when we get to the challenge, but the other team that could have only other team that could have beat them in this was Amanda and Zach, who are gone. So
yeah, but the way you're looking at
now, you just win and be safe.
Well, yeah, easier said than done.
Because the way they were talking, was Tony and Bananas are too good a team. The only team that could possibly beat them in this is Shane and Nelson. That's not good for the rest of the house if they're not that confident in their ability to win challenges.
Well, that isn't good for the rest of the house.
There's only a handful of teams that have even won challenges all season.
But the way I'm looking at this is when you're outnumbered as much as Bananas is, regardless of if you're better than the other team, you can lose. You can still lose in elimination, and he's going in every week. So, think about this. He lost to Devin last year. You can lose at any time in elimination. Is he better than Devin? Yes, he's fucking better than Devin. But he lost to Devin in an elimination.
Yeah.
So when you are outnumbered right now, my quick math would be 2, 4, 6, 7,
4 teams against him, and only
9.
Carr on his
9
side.
people are against him currently. You'd much rather be 9-4 than 9-3. As little as that makes a difference, you are just so outnumbered right now. He needs anybody that he can get. He absolutely misses Zach. He's not gonna miss it if it came down to the fact that there's like 3 teams left and Zach's one of them and he's one of the others.
Yeah, which
he's not gonna miss it then.
Yeah.
But he needs it right now. And what you need to do, whatever you can do to survive in the moment. When you're in a position like he was in years past where he's controlling the game, you can look 2 weeks ahead. But right now, he has to look at the now. He has to look right in front of him.
Yeah, and what I saw was the challenge that he easily won because he was easily the best team suited for it.
Yeah, he was the best team suited for that challenge.
Yeah.
Might not be best suited for the next challenge.
Well, we'll see. Because one of these other teams is going to have to step up.
These next challenges could be like one of those just stupid, goofy things.
Yeah, but I'm saying is my whole point is that those floater teams are going to have to win a daily, because Bananas calls them dailies. They're dailies. At some point to make a move, like they can't just, because Bananas, like Zach and Amanda were winning almost every challenge, or Brad and Kyle, and now that they're gone, now Tony Bananas are the favorites to win every challenge every week.
Sure,
and they could go right to the end just by winning.
And yes, and as you said, you said that this is a good thing because now all he has to do is just win out and he's going to go to the final. But as I said, easier said than done.
Yeah.
If they don't win even one challenge, they're going in, and they have, I would say, a 50-50 chance of losing because these eliminations have been unpredictable.
Yeah, which I actually like. I like how they're unpredictable.
And if they go in against Nelson and Shane, I think they have a 60 to 70% chance of losing.
Team Young Buck had their reunion here. They were popping bottles, and Devin actually brought up. I was surprised they hadn't mentioned this, that his father actually passed away.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that
he said I flew out with the original cast, and I ended up having to go home 24 hours in because of that. So touching moment here.
Which to a casual fan, to someone who hasn't, read up on all the hot deets, if their brain can trace back, I don't know, 3 months,
it's been a while,
3.5 months, they would remember that Bananas did not have a partner when he came in.
In about 10 minutes, it'll be 3 months to the date that the season premiered.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, July 10th.
Why do you remember that?
I just do. I remember that because it was promoted for like a month. That July 10th premiere.
All right.
Those were the days. Remember that graveyard?
3 months ago. That is a quarter year ago that this started.
And no end in sight still.
Yeah, and no freaking end in sight. This is gonna end up being like, it's gonna be like 5 months long.
Yep.
That's a bunch of crap. You ask me.
So this is where Marie realizes that she's the biggest target, and she and Sylvia have this little riff. Well, outside.
She had a bit of a riff with just about everybody.
Yeah, but mainly Sylvia was the person
in the house and in the club. She was definitely causing fits. I'm gonna have to say, Marie definitely was not picking up what people were putting down.
I think she was. She just wanted to be upset about it, probably because she was drunk in that.
Well,
scene.
she was upset about it even before she was drinking, like at the card game.
I think she I find it hard to believe. I feel like Marie actually is kind of smart and actually has a brain in her. So I feel like she just felt a little. She was disappointed, maybe a little heartbroken. But she did understand it to some extent. She just still wanted to be mad about it, I guess. I know that sounds.
She just wanted to be mad to be mad.
Kind.
Well, sometimes you gotta let out some steam. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta just let it go.
Anyway, this was the only. So we go to the redemption. This surprisingly the only shot of redemption that we got this episode, and it was very short, only a couple minutes. of just Amanda and Zach and Jose and Devon showing up. Nothing of substance here, other than that Zach and Amanda definitely
Yeah, there
hate each other
really
even
wasn't
more.
anything.
Yeah, I was surprised there wasn't more of a like reaction from like the other people on like what happened or what was more like fallout between those two after that huge thing that happened last week. But yeah, just nothing.
They really
Like,
swept that
of
one
all
under
episodes
the
to
carpet.
have the least amount of redemption house, this episode should have had a little bit more. I felt like.
This episode should have just had like, I don't know, 40% redemption house, because not much happened in the main house. There is some time that needed to be filled.
I imagine next week is going to be a big redemption episode.
I will say though, I'm in agreement with you. When we were watching the episode, just about nothing happened, yet it went by really quick.
Yeah, this was like just flew by like nothing. I think that's what happens when you have a challenge that's like actually like takes up a big portion of the episode. It isn't like just quick done and over in 10 minutes.
Also, what was that like? There was a ridiculously long first commercial break. No, or sorry, not the break. Like the first segment.
It was like 15 minutes. It seemed like.
Yeah, it was. I mean, me and you started a couple minutes late watching the episode, and I remember when you said it, I looked up at the clock. It said 9:17. I think we started about 5 minutes late.
Yeah, that's a wild commercial. I was expecting there to be commercials so many times.
Yeah, that's a 12-minute opening segment.
We get to the challenge. What goes up must come down, and this is actually this is probably the coolest challenge they've done.
Yeah, this was straight out of the Gibraltar nonsense or whatever they were doing last year.
Yeah,
with running on the town, zip line or climbing up a wall, zip lining down, whatever.
Yeah. No, that was the. It was like something Rhonda or something.
Yeah. Rhonda.
Because Carmen was like, "My mom's name is Rhonda. I got to win it for her."
But yeah, that was the town's name was Rhonda.
Yeah, the town's name was Rhonda.
Yeah.
What goes up must come down. You have this puzzle on the top where you gotta, and a puzzle. The map for it is like on the ground.
Yep. So you gotta lean somebody over, and they gotta verbally tell the other person the colors or the dimensions and what have you.
Good stuff. I like this. And you had to run up to start, which was another element to it.
Yeah, puts a little bit of speed in it. Obviously, if you're slow at getting up there, but good at a puzzle, you're gonna probably equal out and maybe even tip in favor. But because the puzzle is definitely the most time consuming part. But I thought it was good. A nice single team challenge where they weren't all going at once or anything, and yet it wasn't like brutally long. They weren't like these 15-minute routes.
No.
Like everybody finished in like under 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was surprised at how quick it took.
And some people were doing it in like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think Shannon Nelson was like a little over 5 minutes. That means Bananas only did it in about 5. Tony probably did it in like 5 minutes. I had a list here of all the teams that went. Corey and Devin were pretty basic. Nothing to see there. Ashley and Hunter had a lot of communication issues. I was questioning why Hunter was the one hanging over the ledge, reading off the puzzle.
Honestly, I don't think there was too much. I was trying to think who would be better over the ledge and who would be better doing the puzzle. Like not just Ashley and Hunter, but just in general. Like the general strategy is the person who's better at puzzles better off being over the ledge or putting it together. And we saw a bit of both. We saw Devin hanging over the ledge, right?
Yeah.
And we saw people like who else is good at puzzles? Was it like
Bananas?
Bananas was building.
Yeah.
Sylvia was building, right?
No, Sylvia was hanging.
Sylvia was hanging.
Cara was hanging.
But Bananas definitely better than puzzles than Tony.
Yeah.
And Bananas was building.
No, Bananas was hanging.
Okay, then I guess the strategy was whoever's better at puzzles.
Yeah, that's what was confusing because Ashley's really good at them, and she was the one building.
Right. Oh, and she was building.
Yeah,
because that's like that was interesting. Because to me, my first thought was that you'd be the builder, but
because Devin,
I guess
like maybe it's because I saw Devin be the one hanging for Corey, and like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And then I expect Ashley Hunter to line it up pretty much the same way, but they didn't. And they struggled.
They did struggle. I do wonder though if they would have did any better with Ashley over the ledge.
I don't think they would have won. And Cara and Marie had that disadvantage from the last challenge, but not that it really matters anyway because they weren't going to win. Like,
no,
being a girl team in a challenge like this,
you're not going to do it on the rappel segment.
Yeah, Marie actually beat Cara on the rappel. How about that?
Pretty good.
Shane and Nelson did pretty well for themselves. They flew up the stairs, which was a key part of that. And Nelson was talking about his relationship with Shane in his confessional. How it was good, and I didn't almost slept in there he was. I don't want to say he's like my boyfriend or anything, but
just about every other sentence, Nelson intentionally or unintentionally said something to like get Nelson's goat. Like, I mean, not Nelson's, sorry, get Shane's goat. Like, and get him going, because it seemed like endless when we were watching this confessional of him just like lobbing softballs to Shane to hit out of the park on this, and some of them he was definitely willingly tossing up, and other times he was just walking right into it in true Nelson fashion. But it was entertainment nonetheless. These two work very well together and are very fun to watch.
They are.
As I'm saying that in episode 14, like you haven't figured that out for yourself.
It still doesn't seem like it's been that many episodes at all. Like, it seems like we're just getting started still.
Yeah, I feel like this game has never reached end phase. Was there even a mid-season
It
trailer?
doesn't even seem like, yes, there was a mid-season trailer.
I don't remember.
It seems like now it's like mid-season.
Yeah, I don't even know what to think anymore. Like, just the way that these episodes are structured, I can't get any grasp of where we are in the season.
Joss and Sylvia, the next team, they were slow getting up that hill or that staircase, which is going to be a problem for them, as Sylvia's endurance is not the best.
Yep, it's going to be a problem if you make the final.
I think Joss actually had a good plan for this. He let Sylvia go up first because he knew he was going to catch her anyway, so he used that as like, oh, go in front of me, so that'll be like your motivation. So just because like you're only slow as your weakest link, so. So that was
otherwise, if he was in front, he would just blaze the top and been sitting there waiting.
Yes, so instead he stopped, let her go up a few flights first, then he eventually caught up to her and was like staying behind her the whole time. So that was good communication by Joss. They've been making a point of like, oh, Joss and Sylvia, they can't really communicate all that well, even though we haven't seen it much because their team, neither of them have had much to work with before this episode. It's been 13 episodes, so it's hard to. So you really must not have a lot going on to get some noteworthy like airtime in that span, but they haven't. So
no, they really haven't. I mean, Sylvia's gotten airtime.
I mean, Sylvia had a breakout episode here, but
Joss just does nothing.
He really doesn't.
This was like a breakout episode for him because I think he got like 2 confessionals.
he spoke on his partner's like behavior in the house.
Yeah, this is just it is like really brutal how little he does to add to the game.
And Bananas tried to say he got an exorcist removed from his body when Amanda went home.
Yeah.
Just an awful edit appears on the screen.
It was pretty rough.
They're usually pretty good about that, but that was not good.
It was silly.
And that's like the third time they've made some sort of demonic, satanic reference to Amanda this season with some weird edit.
I think Joss will get a callback.
Yes.
I think they'd be wrong in doing it.
You don't think he deserves one?
I just don't. Yeah, he's gonna get
so dry.
It's one of these things that he's gonna keep getting callbacks because of that one Derek.
He's better like on his own in like a physical thing to see what he's got like against like a really strong
that's
guy.
But that's exactly
on this season.
Exactly, he's gonna get like 4 or 5 seasons of callbacks all because he had a good fight against Derek.
Yeah,
and then he's going to do it. And then just about when his callbacks are waning, he's going to have another great physical elimination. He's going to stay again. But this dude is boring.
Oh, yeah.
Like
But he could, like, win a season.
Yeah, he could, too. But yeah, he has got no character. He is Derek.
Yeah, although I prefer him to Derek, because Derek's just... At least Joss has had some, like, somewhat humorous moments.
Yeah, he's got a little more of a funny bone than Derek K. But he kind of is. He's kind of Derek. And, like, I like Joss at the beginning of the season, and I still kind of like him, but I'm definitely losing it here because he's just so damn
we've gotten
boring.
Such a long sample size of this season of just him not doing anything.
Yeah. He's Dario.
Like he had a relationship with somebody in the house that got no airtime. Like,
hey, So he literally is Dario.
Well, Dario is a little bit different. He only had like 2 episodes with Ashley K. Ashley K is another, but Ashley K falls into that same scenario as like just a boring person.
Yeah. Do you think did she stop doing challenges, or did she stop getting calls?
She stopped getting called. They only brought her back because they needed a champion for that.
Yeah.
And then they put her on Chance for Stars too.
Yeah, so she's been on 2.5 seasons.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
I mean, she wasn't like she did much on her season that she won.
She went to the final.
She won the season, but like she was like
she was on the team.
Yeah, like she was such a throwaway person on that team.
Yeah. But then she got to show up on Champs vs. Stars.
Yeah.
And
she got so much out of that one.
The love of her life.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not together anymore, so.
What? No.
They were made for each other, to be honest. Perfect kind of like person on the challenge, like the low key, like non dramatic person.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Except
why
when he threw that pillow and broke everything, and he never aired.
Like that was why they were a good couple, but didn't work out. What was left? Oh, Bananas and Tony go, and this is where the rest of the crowd unleashes with the yelling and the distracting. And I truly believe this didn't. Me and you both said it. They were editing it to make it seem like it was actually affecting him more than it was.
Yeah, they're bumping up the audio of the cheers. Like he's really high in the air.
Yeah,
and he's bananas. He's not gonna fall for that stupid shit.
Not even like start falling for it, just letting it get to him. Like it's not gonna get to him.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
It's
work.
not. I feel like the puzzle was not hard. Like no, Ashley and Hunter were the only team we saw even have like an issue really.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard.
I think Carmery had a little skip there, but it only took a couple of minutes to do that. Like, I guess it's worth the. I mean, it's still worth the Hail Mary from Shane and company, though. Like Shane said, I'm trying to win $1 million fucking here. Fuck sportsmanship. Yeah. That's the right attitude to have, buddy.
Hey, and it's fun to cheer.
Yeah, and I love they air the clip of Bananas on Rivals 2 saying all's fair in love, war, and challenges. Mm-hmm. Straight from his mouth. They should have been. This clip should have been played back on every season ever. They should have aired this when Sarah screwed him over. They should have aired this when Tony screwed him over. They should have aired this when he was like on whatever season. Like actually, I don't know if there's been other freakouts.
You mean when he screwed Sarah, not Sarah?
When Sarah screwed him first.
Okay.
On Free Agents, he was bitching about getting sent in. Like X's 2. When Leroy remember when Leroy told him like, I'm sorry, but I have been working with Wes. He's like, I am disgusted, Leroy. Like, where's the all's fair in love, war, and challenges, buddy? Sorry, I had to work with your enemy here, but I mean, I'm set up well. Like, you literally could air that clip every season
That'd be funny
to make Bananas look like a hypocrite.
If it's like a little like the edit they did for Tony's Kids, where it was like meshed into the background and it had like soft edges, and it was like kind of there for that's what they need to do. Just like anytime he says something stupid, it just like appears in the background. It's like all's fair in love and challenges, and it just like disappears. And the next time he bitches, it's all fair in love and challenges.
Now I want to watch.
Keeps coming up.
Now I want to watch Rivals 2 because I want to remember what the context of how he said that was. Because I know Frank was in the room with him because you saw Frank next to him. But like, what was the situation where he said that? Like, was there like a fight and then he was like reacting to it? Was someone pissed off because they were being sent in?
Or wasn't him and Frank a team?
Yeah, they were.
That's ridiculous.
They ruined any potential Frank had of being this veteran, this anti-vet guy by immediately putting him with Bananas the second season. And they did the exact same thing to Tony.
That's also one of the strongest teams like ever paired.
And the Bananas was washed that season.
He was a wash.
He seemed the old man was slowing down, and then he came back and won Free Agents. I still feel like Bananas has been on the decline since Free Agents. Mm-hmm. They just make it seem like it's been since Rivals 3. But really, Rivals 3 was such an easy season for him to win. Right. And I believe Sarah was the stronger part of that team. And that might have been the 2 best competitors, male or female, in the entire season. And they were both on the same team. Like, it's almost unfathomable that they wouldn't have won.
That's undeniable.
Yeah.
Bananas is the best challenge competitor ever, and there's no competition threatening Sarah there besides Camilla.
But like, I'm saying Sarah was like better than like guys on it. Like, Sarah was the best person in general on that season. Like, guy or girl.
What I'm saying, the only person that could compare to her on that season, what was Laura on that season?
No,
it was Invasion. There's Camilla. Camilla's the
Yeah,
only person
Camilla,
that was up
yeah.
on that level. Cara was like getting there.
Cara wasn't on that season though.
Oh, she wasn't? Yeah, she wasn't.
Wes wasn't. Wes isn't in the physical shape. And
What?
Nani just wasn't good that season.
And I mean, Camilla's been a beast for a little while, but it really seemed like her beast game stepped up in like Invasion.
Who, Camilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when she really got in good shape. Like she started doing like CrossFit.
Like she went from being like good, maybe great, to like insane.
We talk about Camilla so much on this podcast.
I love Camilla.
Not ashamed to admit it.
But that's what I'm saying. That like I agree with you that Sarah on that season was the best competitor.
Yeah, Sarah might have been the best competitor on 2 seasons. Because on Battle of the Season, she literally brought that Brooklyn team with like JD and Devin.
I can't believe
Chet.
she did that.
Yeah.
JD, Devin, and Chet.
Like this is why this is
fucking Chet.
This is the argument I made.
Pain.
This is the argument I make for Sarah being like in like the top 3 like girls ever. Is like I don't know if anyone in challenge history would have brought that Brooklyn team to a final, but she did. And she did some politicking to make sure that the Vegas team
didn't she get them second place?
They were third.
Because
Devin just couldn't run. Like they had no chance in the final.
They
could have thrown it at the end. They could have thrown it at the end, got rid of Devin and JD, and then had a better chance of just Sarah and Chet.
They absolutely would have did better as Sarah and Chet.
Think about that team. Besides, Devin had her wacky free agents run where she somehow made the final, which is still one of the most obscure things.
I can't believe Devin's made the final twice.
Outside of that team consists of Chet, who's gone home first on 2 of his 4 appearances, and JD, who went home like second on his like 1 other appearance, and was so irrelevant. He was worse than Joss on that season. He did nothing.
There was a lot of people though in Battle of the Seasons that did nothing. That cast was huge.
It was like big cast, and there was a lot of like people that were thrown on there to fill out like the.
How many people were on that cast?
32.
Is that the biggest cast they've had?
I think that's tied for that. I've had 32 a couple of times. 30. I don't think they've ever had more than 32. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to count this season as more because they have the mercenary teams. Technically, I guess this season is 34.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this one, that's why this season's been moving in slow motion because unlike Battle of the Seasons when they had 32, like everyone has a role in this season. Like everyone on Final Reckoning like gets parts and has like a filled out like 3-dimensional character.
Well, that's the thing with the
like Battle of the Seasons. Yeah. There were like some flat 2D.
Yeah, I think that's the one good thing to the seasons being longer is you really get to see more of like these people's personalities. Like someone could go 5 episodes and do nothing, and then like have like a 3-episode run where they're like super involved and do a lot. We've seen that with Devon and Jose this year. They'll have like a big episode where they do a lot, and then they disappear for like 3 episodes, and then they come back.
Usually because they went to the redemption house.
Yeah,
like let's be honest. Anytime they're in the real house, they're highly
I was
involved.
looking at the confessional count for the season. Cam is in this, and Amanda are both top 5 in confessionals for the year. But there have been like runs this season where they were like almost non-existent.
Like the last like 3 episodes.
Cam has been since she went to redemption, nothing. She's holding on to those first few episodes. Meanwhile, Amanda had a huge spike from the last like 3 episodes compared to the first like 9 or 10 where she didn't do a whole lot. Which it still wasn't that late in the game, so there wasn't that much to do, to be honest. I wonder who's still. Joss definitely has like the lowest of anyone still. Yeah, and I feel like Brad is down there too. Like Brad, ever since the Britney thing happened, he's been invisible.
I'm pretty sure that Joss has less confessionals than Chuck.
No, there's no. He might have less than like Tori or somebody, or like.
Not Tori. Come on, Tori got confessionals all the time.
He probably has less than like CT.
No, because CT had like a gimmick going on.
You think CT had more than?
Are you forgetting about the whole like I gotta carry this girl who's just on a vacation like storyline?
I mean, if he has less than CT, then that's bad because CT was in redemption for half the time he was there.
Never forget when CT tried to woo Jose.
Never forget that CT was on this season. And he was on 10 episodes.
Oh my god, he's on 10 episodes.
Tori and Derek, 10 episodes. Faith and Angela, who Faith and Angela were a major part at the beginning of the season.
I forgot about Faith and Angela, and they were awesome.
And they were like a major part. That's how long this season is.
God, this fucking season.
It's like a chapter. You can almost like this season is going to be cut into is being cut into sections now with all these redemptions. Like
yeah, it's gonna be
when these chunk eliminations. So like each part in
we're
between.
in chapter 3 right now.
Yeah, we're in chapter 3, and then there's gonna be chapter 4 and 5. So anyway, I was disappointed in you because you actually wanted Bananas to win this challenge.
Yeah. Like, why wouldn't I want Bananas to win this challenge? Now, this is going to sound bad. Don't freak out when I say this. But you got to root for the underdog.
Oh my god, he's not a fucking underdog.
I know that Bananas is the GOAT. I'm not fucking around here. Don't get me wrong there. But what I'm saying is like...
That's going to cause some debate, too.
Yeah,
because I don't think many people would say that.
When you are so heavily outnumbered, and everybody is pinning you down, like that's you want to root for that guy, and on top of the fact that maybe I still would have not have rooted for him if he was alone. The fact that he's like also coupled with Tony is giving me no choice. I am right now on the banana bandwagon. I want Bananas and Tony to go to that final, and as of right now, my opinion has changed a lot through the season. I've made many calls, but right now I want Bananas and Tony to win.
Ridiculous.
Because I love.
Okay, here's the thing.
I want to see them wipe out 2 factions, mowing them all down by going into eliminations every week and just ripping them apart, and then going into the final and shredding them. I want to see that. I want to see these guys show that they're the fucking shit.
No, get them out. They gotta go.
Like that's. I think
they gotta go. No,
I think that's entertaining.
They gotta go, and then we need to see the Lavenders and Young Bucks fight each other. That's entertaining to me.
I don't think that's entertaining, only because I don't like seeing like real friendships get like fucked up. And they all take this shit so seriously.
I feel like
I mean, they should. It's for $1 million, but like, no one ever seems to understand. It's all fair in love and challenges.
A few people would do.
No, they just don't. Like, look at Marie.
Well, Marie
this week, and everybody always
all the people
that
were telling Marie.
Yeah,
it's just a game. But then if it had happened to them,
they'd be freaking out. If this happened to Shane, he'd be. We already know if this happened to Shane, he'd be losing.
Shane would be like aggressive the way Marie, like ultra aggressive the way angry. He would just be like. He'd just be like pestering the person all night long.
Oh, you'd pester him?
He would go all out to try to get the person to like change their mind or do something like crazy different.
He'd be pestering. He'd also be crying.
Sylvia said, Bananas has this coming for the way because if he was in power, this is the same shit that he'd be doing. He did it to CT on Rivals 1.
Yeah, he did it to a lot of people. He's fucking Bananas.
Yeah. So he has everything that's coming to him as far as I'm concerned. That's why I am not rooting for him as an underdog.
Exactly.
I do not feel bad for him. Not to mention he's got Tony as a partner.
Now let me just cut you down here, because he did that to people over the years, and you rooted for the people that he was destroying. And now they're doing it to Tony. So they're just doing they're doing it to Tony and Bananas. So they are, if you look at it like this, it's Bananas bullying those other teams. Now
I don't use the word bully.
Okay, it's Bananas destroying these other teams.
Destroying.
Now it's Bananas destroying those other teams. It just so happens that Bananas is the other team.
Yeah,
it's the same concept, and you always root for the person that's getting picked on.
Because this little sly motherfucker gets away with everything still. Like the fact that Zach volunteered himself last week, the fact that.
That was a brilliant stroke of luck, if you ask me.
The fact that he still hasn't gone in yet this season, despite having the numbers against him clearly, and he's not an underdog.
Now him never going in, despite the numbers being against him, has nothing to do with luck. That has to do with how everyone always plays the game and how it's been played for the past 20 seasons. I only say that because I have no clue how the first 10 seasons were played. It's because people always attack the weakest link, and they build up. And somebody said it on this episode where they were taking out the blah blah blah, whatever terminology I used. Now we got to cut off the head of the snake, referring to Bananas.
Yeah. Well, that's why they wanted to get rid of
because they need to. Yeah, exactly. Got to get rid of Angela and Faith. Got rid of Kyle and Brad. They're about to go get rid of Cara Marie, or attempt to at least. So it's almost there. This is the last bit before they can cut off the head of the snake. Unfortunately for them, that snake has got some big fangs, and that snake is going to fuck some shit up. He's going to the final. I think they're winning.
You lost me. You really did. I thought you were on my side.
It's Tony time, baby.
I can see that. Although I am also mad that Tony Time is ruined this season by this. Tony Time is now officially canceled for me, by the way, because I thought I was so high on him after last season, so excited for this is the breakout star on his own. He's taking that next step, and where is he 1 season later? Bananas lapdog again. Not completely his fault, but still his fault.
It's not at all his fault. He wasn't even supposed to be on the season.
Yeah, he was. He was supposed to be.
He's going to be a mercenary.
He was going to be a mercenary with someone else.
Yeah. So it's not his fucking fault.
But if that was the case, then if he wasn't Bananas' partner, damn well Bananas would be doing everything in his power to get Tony. Tony would be on the side with all the young bucks.
Absolutely, he would be. And
that's why I'm mad.
I said
he should be on that side.
I said from the beginning that like as much as I love seeing me some Tony Time, and Tony and Bananas I think is a good pair and a fun pair. Nothing would have been better than Devin and Bananas as a team, and Tony doing something else.
Bananas needs a partner that he actually dislikes, not one that just happened to make a sly move against him a season ago. That's what's so frustrating about that. Because this was so predictable that him and Tony would just get along fine.
I also say because Bananas always gets good partners, and this year he was going to be getting Devin, who of course is great mentally, one of the best mentally. But I mean, he said it himself. This challenge, I got to work on this, and he pointed to his muscles, because that's his weakest link. He's got that dad bod, and that would have been would definitely been one of Banana's worst partners, but it also would have made for probably the best TV in all of his partners, easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Besides the singular moment of him taking,
hates him.
Yeah. Besides the singular moment of him taking Sarah's money, this would be like the best like general like
run of Bananas.
Full run of like him with his teammate. Yeah. If he was with Devin, because
we really
that would
missed out.
That would have been fucking key.
We missed out on that team, and we missed out on Tony.
Tony just doing something else.
We missed out on a further developing Tony Time.
Who do you think Tony's teammate would have been?
It was going to be Madison, his ex-wife, or not ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, who also is the mother to one of his kids.
It was going to be this girl named Madison.
I don't know. Although I don't know why they had.
Was she challenged? Was she on the challenge? Ever?
No, she's never been. I think the reason why they wanted them as a mercenary as opposed to just being on the cast is because Tony actually had like a conflicted schedule. They were actually gearing it for Tony so that he could come in late.
Yeah.
So that's weird to have a rookie girl as a mercenary, but they were going to do it
for Tony Time.
Yeah, Ashton Hunter weren't even going to be on this.
That would have been fun.
That Tony and
Tony
Madison.
Pulling a rookie in that late. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
It wouldn't have, well, they would have been the first one, and then I would assume Corey and Darrell were supposed to be the next one. That was the original plan.
Corey and Darrell. They gave Darrell a boot for Devin?
Yeah. You got to have that Bananas and Devin storyline going.
Yeah. That's crazy. just the general thought. Of course, when you bring in the whole Devin Banana storyline, but just like they gave Darrell the boot for Devin.
He's a priority. He's earned it. He should have been on especially what happened to his father. Like, they had to give him another chance,
Yeah.
People probably didn't see it coming because they were there in the beginning when he had to go home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on from the challenge. And let's get to Headbutt City, bitch.
Is that how this is going to be?
Yep. So, Marie, during a game of cards, which I didn't even know that they could play cards.
Why wouldn't they be able to play cards?
It seemed like, but it didn't seem like they were playing conventional cards. It seemed like they were playing some other weird thing.
What do you think conventional cards
Like, the cards
are?
were very big. I guess there's makeshift.
I did not notice anything irregular about these cards. I did not take note of their size.
Like they were I don't know. Maybe I was just.
They were just playing a game. I actually couldn't tell what game it was. They were putting stuff into the middle. Maybe they were playing like BS or something. But they weren't very energetic about it, which BS tends to kind of be.
Yeah, but Marie was basically ditched out on the card game.
Yeah, she
upset that she's being voted in
skis.
because there's no other options. And then we go to the club later, and she's just going off on everyone. Yelling at Ashley. I actually respect Ashley here. This was the most chill I've ever seen Ashley like in an argument. Like,
yeah, you would expect her to just blow.
I don't know if it almost seems like she like not she didn't drink, but like she took something else to calm her down.
I would not.
I know she didn't, but I'm just
I was like, you should.
I'm not making any accusations,
yes,
but like,
no.
that's what it seemed like. Like for her to be in that state, like if Ashley just was had that more than often than not, then I feel like most people would like her. But instead, she's crazy drunk.
Honestly, I got the vibe with her talking from Marie just from the words she was using and how she was phrasing things that she had been drinking like enough to be like tipsy. So I guess I'm against you on that, but I am genuinely shocked that she didn't freak out.
She was definitely drunk,
because
but I'm saying
she was loaded.
I'm surprised that she didn't flip out at all. Like she just
that part was relaxed. That part's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, especially since Sylvia's had so much pent up aggression all season. I'd imagine.
Well, it was kind of funny to like watch Marie make her rounds. Yeah, like she started with Ash. She went to Nell or she went to Shane. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
It said Shane, we're not friends anymore. And Shane was saying, he's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna win $1 million, so I can make a bunch of more friends with $1 million.
Yeah. And then she, like a sly motherfucker, just came up behind an unassuming Sylvia. It didn't seem like just let her have it.
That club is like not much going on anymore. There's only a couple teams.
There's not a lot of people in that club.
Well, there's
a lot of empty space behind all of them. I didn't see a lot of randos in the club. Not a lot of blurred out faces. It looked like they had like a section to themselves or something.
So, Marie and Sylvia again in this big argument, and then it carries over to the house. In the kitchen, of course, pizza is present. They had to make it a point to show the pizza. A nice little callback there.
Yeah, that was great. To show the pizza in a revolving show a pizza in the middle of or before and after Marie has been having a freak out. So, calling back to the Pizza Monster days of Vendettas, where that girl had quite the freak out due to some.
This is
some rectangular pizza.
This is one of those.
It's not a circle.
Oh yeah, it was rectangular.
Yeah, it was a rectangular
pizza from Spain. So this is one of those fights where I like don't even bother because I think a lot of people they get caught up in wanting to take a side or debating the merits of fights that happen on the show. This is one where I was just like, this is fun. I like this. It's because Sylvia, we haven't seen this aggressive side of her yet on the challenge in her 3 seasons, so I was very happy to see that from her finally. Marie really it popped up for a few minutes there like a couple episodes ago when she was defending Cara, but it was nice to see the good sides of these people that I love, like Marie from Battle of the Seasons and Sylvia from Real World. Those two sides of them came out for a moment and I thought it was great.
Remember how awesome Marie was in Battle of the Seasons?
Yeah. And this was like that.
This is, I will say, this is the most entertaining Marie's been since Battle of the Seasons.
Oh, yeah.
She's been an absolute snore. Do you remember how shitty she was on Dirty 30?
She did, yeah.
What a fucking snoozer.
Oh, and also, like, it was a similar situation. She was getting voted in by, like, Frank, I think. She knew that she was going to get backstabbed by him, and so she just went, it was like on a bus or something. She just started yelling at everybody there. Yeah, like, you're fucking corny. And then she pushed Sam into a plant.
I forgot about it.
Actually, that was a different...
I was gonna say that was a different.
That
fight.
Was when Nani
Sam got like actually like messed up from that. Like didn't she take a hard spill?
Yeah, she did. I think she was okay, but it looked like she could have hurt her head.
Yeah,
on that.
Yeah, it was like a brutal. It was a brutal spill, dude. Yeah, she took a tough fall.
Yeah. So Marie gets a little bit too close for comfort with Sylvia because she says, like, get in my face, go nose to nose with me. So Sylvia fires back with a swift butt to the head.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt that right when she did it, that like, you're gonna go face to face with me, bitch. I felt that. That was impactful. That bitch that she let out.
You're feeling the verbiage.
I was feeling the verbiage from Sylvia there.
Well, now this is something that I have talked about before in the past. That rules are rules.
Well, here you go on your tangent.
And this is a bunch of crap. I like Sylvia a lot. But regardless of how strong or weak the punch, slap, push, headbutt, hit with a hockey stick, I don't know, like whatever you're gonna smack somebody with, as long as you do it with malice, you should be kicked off the show.
Yeah, well, that's where you just open up a huge can of worms. It's all subjective. There's no official rule book for the challenge,
and it's fucking bullshit.
They make up stuff as they go. It's just the thing. Like, it's not even worth like going on about. I feel like most people are aware of it at this point. I mean, there's been several physical things that they've let slide before.
None, obviously, more as bad as the Jasmine hit.
Well, when she just ran up on Tyree and literally punched him.
That was closed fist punch. That was
a closed fist like punch to the back of like the neck. Like,
that was outrageous. Yeah. That she didn't get the.
There wasn't even like a production didn't even jump in there. Maybe because well, I think that's where gender comes into play, considering Tyree is like 3 times the size of her.
He probably weighs triple her.
Yeah.
Because Jasmine probably weighs like 105.
No, she's probably under 100.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just calling it 100 for easy math. Tyree's definitely over 3.
He's like, no, I don't know if he's over 3. He's like a good like 260.
He's really tall though.
Yeah.
That's why I'm figuring he's minimum like 280. I figured he was
he's
like
not 280.
No,
he's not that big. Big Easy was like 280.
Oh, come on. He weighs as much as Big Easy. He's like, Tyree's huge.
He wasn't as big as Big Easy.
Like, Big Easy wasn't like nearly as tall as Tyree was.
Tyree was and Tyree was also bigger, but he got a little bit better in shape that season. Like, he was bigger.
Well, if he was better in shape, that means he had a little more muscle on him, which weighs more than fat.
He was probably like 260, I'd say.
Yeah.
So almost, but still, the point remains almost 3 times her size.
Almost 3 times her weight, and probably had like 2 feet on her. So that's absolutely why they were just like, eh.
That's what he got for calling her a semen demon and telling her to kiss her black ass. Kiss his black ass.
Semen demon.
That's what I miss about the.
That was one of the most creative like
slanders. He didn't actually say it on the episode, but in the shit they should have shown, they mentioned that he called her a semen demon. So like whenever I think about that incident, I just think, oh, he called her a semen demon, even though it never actually aired on the episode. But anyway,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just outrageous that because to me you're right. There is no rule written in the challenge. However, they say that fighting is not tolerated, and I assume that physical assault would fall under fighting or violence, and both are not tolerated on the show. And physical assault involves headbutting somebody, regardless of how hard you headbutt them. If you do it with malice and intent to inflict harm on somebody, that is physical assault.
Well, they didn't send her home, so there wasn't even a question about it.
And they didn't even talk about it.
There wasn't even a question.
Not even a reprimanding from TJ.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. He even gave Vince one when he curled Tom up on the table on Rival Street.
Yeah, just a lazy hand put in between them by a security officer. That was all it took.
Well, I quite enjoyed this scene, and I enjoyed that we finally got some good screen time from Sylvia. I knew that she had it in her. Joss, I don't know about him, if he has it in him. He's always been boring, even on his X on the Beach appearances. So
I don't think that dude. I don't think like he could like flip a switch. Like, say, let's compare him to Kyle. Like if he gets like like outed and feels betrayed, he's just not going to be like that guy to like just like blow up about it.
Yeah,
it's just not him.
let's get to the vote. And it's pretty obvious where it's going, as Sylvia stated earlier. Sylvia is the new HBIC, by the way, for the Lavender Ladies. Like, she's the one who's talking about it and is getting all the confessionals for them as a team. So,
what's HBIC?
Head bitch in charge.
Okay.
That's the way they made it seem this episode.
Am I supposed to know that?
Which is, I'm pointing that out. It's important to say because a lot of people think Sylvia is like the fourth wheel and like the follower of the group, but it's clear that she's just as much a strong part as anyone else. Like throughout this.
Well, I never ever looked at the Lavender Ladies as like anyone being a bitch in it. Like I always saw them as equal.
Yeah, and just in this episode they portrayed it as
the only reason why the only thing I do see is oddly enough Ashley a little higher than the rest.
No, but
only because she's won a challenge.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason why.
The only reason why I come to that.
Like the three girls are very capable, like of all doing stuff.
Yeah,
and like Shane is like crazy, like has some. Shane is good at like coming up with like crazy schemes and plans and stuff.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah. But in terms of like putting your foot down, like this is what we're gonna fucking do. Like,
was Shane boring on Dirty 30?
Shane wasn't on Dirty 30.
That would explain it.
Did you think he was on for a second?
He was on Invasion.
Shane would have been so good on that season. That season needed it. That season needed a Shane.
Sure did. I don't know if he would have saved it though. Like I mean, me and you have said that we look back and Dirty 30 didn't age well, but like, God, it was fucking bad.
That's what I say. It needed a Shane or like a Devin in the house to like mix it up because like just nothing was happening on the guy's side politically. It was so boring.
No, it was a snooze fest.
Yeah. Like when Corey is the one to lead the rebellion,
you getting shot down,
and then it's just him versus his alliance members in eliminations. They couldn't have rigged it for Hunter to pull a double cross.
Who's always pulling a double cross?
Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan. See. I remember that was something I said while we were watching the episode. I was like, if I'm them, I rig this so that Jordan picks this because I do not want fucking Hunter going into elimination again, like he's going to if he doesn't pull it.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Jordan fucking pulled it again. He put Hunter in, of course. Anyway, I like Marie's empty threat in her confessional of like, "Oh, let this one go, but if you touch me again, I'm going to kill you."
Back to Dirty 30. For some reason, of like all the moments that stand out in my head, of Dirty 30, one of the first moments that always comes to my head is Jemmy pulling her quote boss move. Like, and I don't even remember her like calling out Jenna. I always just remember her confessional of her talking about it. It's like the most prominent burned in moment.
You don't remember the call where she was just
30.
like, she looked back and then they cut back and she's like, Jenna. And then they go to commercial?
No, not at all. Oh. That does not ring true to me at all. I just remember her sitting in the confessional and be like, I made this boss move, calling Jenna's name, and now all of a sudden she's back. Like with this redemption.
And there was no storyline there at all because no one gives a shit about wanting to get Jemmy out.
There was nothing.
Anyway.
Hey, they were a team because of it.
Anyway, as I was getting to the point is that Sylvia mentioned earlier that the Lavender / Young Buck is the power vote because they have still more numbers than any Bananas and Cara combo. So they all vote for Cara and Marie to go in. I wish they had done this earlier. Like, why didn't they do this with Jose and Devon like a few weeks ago? Like, they all had the numbers to just pick. I guess they were just afraid of one of them was going to go in. Although Shane and Nelson did make the power move on Brad and Kyle that week, so
powerful as fact.
Yeah, so I guess I can't blame them. They actually did do a strong move there.
Kyle was so hot about it. Heated,
triggered. But I mean, what did they?
Brad's eyes were bouncing out of his head.
What did they possibly expect? They clearly weren't in the part of that alliance. Like, come on.
I don't know if they play it up for TV or if they're really that stupid to like always be so dumbfounded that they're chosen. But it happens without fail every season.
Even Nelly did it later on. He's like, I felt disrespected by
like, come on, dude.
Well, maybe he meant disrespected in the sense of like, I have this great elimination record and they're calling me in. I'm taking that as they don't respect how good I am at eliminations. I think that's the point.
I think that could be the point.
If you don't want to
he's talking about.
He's trying to
however, I don't think that even ran across Cara and Marie's
No.
mind. I don't think that they're doing that.
We're just going to go ahead and jump forward here because I'm going to speak on this
Okay.
last thing in a second. Cara and Marie end up getting the most votes, and they call out Shane and Nelson.
Is this my part now?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I mean, I'm just saying that like I think that they were calling out Shane and Nelson just because they want to get the best team that's not a banana supporter out.
You think that's the best team?
Yes.
Or did they just
that's the best team? That's
feeling ballsy because there hasn't been an elimination yet where it's 2 guys versus 2 girls.
I don't think they were thinking about the gender. I think that they were thinking about if we got to go in, we might as well take out the best, like the hardest team that's gonna cause the most problems for us later.
Honestly, I think Corey and Devin were probably the team to pick if you wanted to pick one that you beat. Like, I think they're the weakest. Weirdly.
Yeah. The other thing is if you're gonna take the elimination into play too, like when you see, I don't know, I guess my guess is that's a maze.
It looked like some sort of maze, but it also looked like you had to break walls.
Yeah,
walls
exactly. It's probably like a stage maze. Where like stage 1 is you have to break through this wall and grab this. And then you gotta climb over and through these to get to there. Like, just like a bunch of, like, there's like 3 or 4 segments to it, and you gotta get through it. I think Corey and Devin could do rather well in that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, either way, they're gonna have it's an uphill battle. Like, they're the underdog against any team, so.
Yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna have to work just the right way to get through there. It's gonna have to be a good amount of puzzles.
I don't know if there's a puzzle part of it, or if it's just breaking walls.
Just breaking walls, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
They're really in trouble.
So, that's going to do it for the main discussion of the episode, as you want to move into the sauna here on a warm October night.
It's not that warm.
It's pretty warm for October.
Are you hot right now?
I'm not that hot, but it's warm outside for the time of year it is.
It's not even 70.
That's pretty warm for this late on a.
Tomorrow's going to be a relatively warm day. Yeah. It's supposed to get up to like 70.
Like it shouldn't.
It's supposed to get close to 80.
It shouldn't be this cold and this warm at night at this time of year.
I'm kind of chilly right now.
Really interesting. Mm-hmm. Last week I was wearing a hoodie while we did this. Now this week we're back to the sweating it out a little bit. But the sauna. So I'm gonna go first here, because I specifically skipped over this part for a reason. Cara and Marie, in their voting block here, have a little discussion where they suddenly realize that they're friends. And yeah, Cara...
I think Cara let it slip.
Cara let it slip that they're friends, and then Marie was really excited, and then Cara started to cry.
Bawled.
Yeah. I don't give a fucking shit. That's my hot take. I know people are eating this up as this great dramatic moment. It's like, oh yes, team unity. No, I don't care one bit. Because I know damn well that Cara can't keep a fucking good friend to save her life.
No,
she'll do some shit 2 episodes later to ruin this.
She probably will.
Marie has done nothing to her, even.
She probably will do something to ruin this. But I don't give a fuck. I love this segment.
No, I didn't.
It was
so
awesome.
Goddamn corny. It's maybe awesome because of how corny
it was. Really cringy, and that was definitely a part of it. Why I liked it.
I was not eating this up as like a dramatic thing. Like, no.
Oh, this was great. I like this. I had a fun time with this. Because it was so outrageous how fast it happened. She just like said one word, and Marie absolutely goaded her into like, you could have just said like, you said I was your friend, and then just like kept going. She just goaded her into like being like, oh, but you are, let's hug, and like a bunch of bullshit, and then somehow was able to manage to just make Cara bawl. So like, not just like a tear. I mean, there's points where she's looking and there's simultaneous streams coming from both her eyes. This girl was absolutely bawling over this.
I wonder how confused everyone was when like they come out of the voting room.
Like, yeah, exactly. They didn't talk about it. at all. But like, there's no way she could have covered up the fact that her eyes were gonna be all red after that. like clearly some shit went down.
So that's obvious. This is my hot take. I'm sticking
also
to it.
wondering.
I don't buy this. I don't care. I don't trust anything that comes out of Kara's mouth as being super.
Here's something.
Genuine.
How soundproof do you think that room wall is?
I don't know.
Because everyone just sits in silence.
Where is that room
door.
in the house? Is what I want to know. Like,
there's big windows. I think it faces the outside.
I feel like this is like the most boring.
Well, that's a dumb thing to say. I think it faces the outside. I meant like I think it faces the deck.
Because this is like, oh yeah, I could see that because they have that when they're sitting outside. Sometimes you can see that there's a little room that sticks out from the side. So that's probably what it is. This is like the most boring house I can remember though. Like the upstairs is just like the living room and the kitchen, and then the downstairs is just three giant bedrooms, like, and one in the middle where it's seemingly all the guys sleep in. Like Vendetta's had a bunch of small rooms, and that allowed like a lot of alliances and like cliques to form. Whereas this season you're just not getting any of that because like all the guys
I gotta say that is a huge sleeping quarters.
Yeah,
like
that middle room.
The one that like they were having their bro down in of when they were popping bottles in the beginning of the episode.
Well, that was the girls' room.
Yeah, that room is fucking huge. That
room has like a ton of. That's like where I assume there's one where like almost all the girls sleep. There's one where like all the guys sleep, and then there's one where there's the Shane's room. Shane has his own room. I believe he's actually said it was only him, Marie, and Veronica. It was tiny. It was like a closet size almost, and that's where they were like playing cards.
Yeah.
And then there's the room that has like Kara and Devon, and like Jose and Tori were in.
Right.
That room that's like just all like the single beds lined up. That's where the Kayla and Melissa fight happened.
Yeah.
It's like compared to like the Vendetta's house.
However, isn't that the room that Zach left his note?
Yeah. So maybe Bananas moved in there.
Yeah, do it. He moved in with Kara.
He probably did because because Devon went home. So. So then no one was been in that room and Kara's in that corner by himself.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's my hot take. I did not care for that. I don't buy that segment. I wasn't about to shed a tear over Kara and Marie's newfound friendship.
It was fun. I thought it was fun because it was just really cringy and silly.
All right, go ahead with your next one.
All right, let's see. I haven't read these over in a little while. I haven't even thought about which one of these bad boys would make for a beautiful bombshell. Okay, here's one. Paulie and now that they announced in the final or not the final the little trailer for next episode that 8 players will be coming in, aka 2 double crosses and 4 teams.
Yes.
I've been saying for a long time that Paulie and Natalie and Jose and Devon will face each other, and Paulie and Natalie will finally win. However, I have changed that Paulie and Natalie and Jose and Devon will both make it back.
So they'll somehow get picked by not by each other.
They will both pull the double crosses.
Oh.
Is what I assume will be the most likely. Or at least Paulie and Natalie will, and maybe Jose and Devon will be picked as the weak link.
Oh my God, can you imagine if they both pulled it?
Like maybe like Zach and Amanda will pick it, and they're like, "Yeah, let's just beat up Jose and Devon again," and then just get beat or something.
Could you imagine though if they were the 2 teams that pulled them?
It would be ridiculous. And they're both coming back. So you want me to go again or what?
I'll go ahead with mine. It's a broad. Actually, you know what? You go yours because you have 3.
I'd I also think that Bananas and Tony will see every elimination till the final.
So that's a lot of, not counting redemptions. So you don't think they're going to win any challenges?
No.
All right. But you think they're going to win every one?
Yeah, we're going to win every elimination.
All right.
They're going to wipe out those mofos.
You've already labeled out a hot take by siding with Bananas, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't need to go in the deep-rooting explanation. You heard it earlier.
It's calling Bananas an underdog. So mine is...
I said to not take that out of context. And you're already doing it.
No, but you said it.
You're doing it. You're taking it out of context.
You said everyone loves an underdog.
Yeah, I did. And in this particular scenario, he is the underdog.
Yeah, we talked about this.
This is one team facing 4 currently. That's an underdog, regardless of who is on that team.
We're not going to discuss this anymore. My next one is, it won't be long until the next season of the challenge comes around. As filming starts next Monday, so we'll actually have time next podcast. We're gonna have time to talk about the cast for next season. If you want to get into that,
I mean, when we've talked about cast reveals earlier, do we usually wait till MTV releases them?
No, we usually would say like, okay, we do it at the end and let people know if they don't want to know it. Then just
yeah, we just like read off what. Yeah.
Because towards the end of Vendetta, the cast for this came out.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting towards the end of this. Now the cast for the next one comes out. But I think they're gearing up for... They'd stop Chance for Stars. This season is clearly going at least 20 episodes. I think the next season is going to film... I heard it's not a long filming schedule. Probably 5 weeks or 6 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that we're going to get to where this season is going to end right before Christmas with that 2-part reunion. Then we're going to take a week off. 2 weeks... And I was going to say 1 week, but I don't think they'll do a season premiere on the 1st of the year. So January 8th will be the premiere of season 33 of the challenge. So you will have to wait all of 2 weeks in between for the between seasons.
And now that's impressive to say the least. And you know what? They'll probably fill Christmas Day and January 1st with some like bullshit Miz segment.
No, I don't think they'll
crap.
It's a holiday. You can just let go.
Yeah, just let go, boy.
They haven't done. They only did those Miz segments for like after Invasion.
You know what? What besides Jersey Shore? Haven't you've told me? Do you believe that the challenge pulls the highest ratings
out of any show on MTV?
Yeah, besides Jersey Shore.
Teen Mom does better ratings.
Does it?
Yeah. Floribama might do as good a ratings. I'm not sure.
Floribama looks dreadful.
RE1 definitely does not do. RE1 does shit ratings.
But I guess the way I'm looking at this is, you'd think with all these replays that they're always airing, replays of Catfish, replays of Teen Mom, replays of Jersey Shore, they never play replays of the challenge.
Nope.
Ever.
Mm-mm.
Why don't you just throw a nice challenge replay in?
The challenge is the one-time deal. You got to watch it if you want to watch it, or you got to dig it up if you want to rewatch it.
Got to get illegal.
Bombshell time.
It is time for a bombshell. It's time to drop it. I haven't read this since I wrote it. Holy shit! All right. Corey and cousin Mitch will be on How Far Is Tattoo Far shortly. Because I saw that they're like, they're a couple episodes ago, I don't know if it was the premiere or something, they got 2 members of the Jersey Shore to do it. And on top of the fact that it's hosted by Snooki. And I think the Angelina girl was on it. And
Nilsa from Floribama Shore was on it.
Was she?
Yeah.
So clearly they're digging. And so I was thinking, which MTV cast member would most likely be on? Like Anissa or something. But I decided Corey because, let's be honest, Corey gets on every MTV show. The man has made it on the Teen Mom. He's made it on to X on the Beach. He's on The Challenge. He's on Real World. This man is on all MTV shows. He's got to get on another.
He's bringing cousin Mitch of all people.
Yeah, cousin Mitch. I just kind of, the way I looked at it there is, you got to get a tattoo with your best bud, and what's better than blood, baby?
All right. Well, on that note, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, it sure is. It was a long one. We thought we weren't going to talk this much about an episode that boring. But, well, we did. Chatty Catfies. Have a good one. Good night.